Everyone, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. I will note that all board members are present with the exception of Karen Cordano, Steve Swift, and Helen Hudson, all of whom are excused. So we do have a quorum and we are able to proceed. I will start with a motion to accept the minutes from the March 23rd, 2023 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. All right, next up we have our report from our secretary. Good morning, Joe.
Yes, good morning, Mayor and board members. The only thing I have to update is I sent the board an email relative to the contract claim at Clary Elms.
Right.
It's no action is needed at this time. We're proceeding to review that, and we'll report back to the board at a later date.
Okay, appreciate the update.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep moving. Next up, we have our program manager report. Good morning, Chris.
Morning. How is everyone?
Doing well.
Good. Just to give you a brief summary here. So start up or left there, about almost 80% complete in terms of formulating change orders and getting those over to the state. We largely have them all resolved. Now it's a matter of processing those, getting signatures, and then sending them to the state. So that process continues. In terms of tranche one, pretty straightforward. I've got 6 out of 7 final cost reports issued, and I have a final payment that we anticipate in May for the architectural services related to Huntington, and then we can close that one up entirely. Under tranche 2, I've got 4 final payments remaining there between the architectural services and the general contractor on Clary Elms. Anticipate that our goal is that by June, for the June meeting, we have all final apps to you by then. We may have a couple that, may have 1 or 2 that trickle into July, but the goal is to get there with that. So, and then final cost reports, obviously subject to final payment. We'll get the remaining cost reports in, which are all drafted. And then at Henniger, largely just chasing some punch list items down. And then I believe we're pretty close to having a cost reconciliation, a final cost reconciliation over there to write the final change orders related to that project. So should hope to wrap that here inside of the next couple of weeks.
Good.
And that kind of covers it in terms of the process there. Joe had mentioned the issue of the claim, which is still open under our critical issues there. And our focus largely from a construction side is just to complete the punch lists that are still out there. There's 40 or 50 punch lists, 20 of them. Okay, so we're making progress on that. So to get those done and complete those, and then finish getting the change orders in. So that's about it.
Great. Any questions for Chris? Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. So next up, we have our financial statement. And good morning, Donna.
Good morning. Okay, we have the one-pager, our financial summary, and this is for February 23. We did earn some interest, and we had vendor payments, and we have we ended the month with $6.8 million in cash. Our cash inflows for the month was $15,263 of interest earnings. So that brings our year-to-date total up to $131,000. Our year-to-date column shows things that were already reported in prior months, which is the federal subsidy, the claim settlement, and also National Grid incentives for a total of $879,000. And then our projected for the fiscal year for 23, our state aid intercept is due to occur in March, which did occur this past month, $34.1 million. We do expect another subsidy payment sometime this month for $361, which will bring us up to $722,000. Our interest earnings we're projecting is going to be about $166,000 up to the end of June. And we had our Ed Smith claim settlement, and then we are anticipating some more National Grid incentive rebates, which are continuing to come in. We do have some applications out there, and it'll be nice to get that extra money. We'll go to debt service, though. which is a good thing. Our cash outflows for the month, we had the vendor payments, a total of $1.1 million for both construction and incidentals. Those were the vendor payments that you approved in January and were paid in February. The February ones will show up in March, so we're a little bit behind, but they catch up. And then, of course, our year-to-date totals puts us at $6.7 million that we've paid so far from June to February. We did make a debt service payment in November of $6.5 million for interest. And then we did transfer out to the district $361,000 for the subsidy payment. So our projections for the year we're looking at for fiscal year 23, we're looking at about $9.8 million that we're going to pay out. In vendor payments, we're going to pay out $34.6 million in debt service payments. And we will transfer out to the district all of the QSCB subsidy payments that we will receive. At the bottom, the bar graph shows that same thing, the $880,000 cash inflows and the projected 35.6 in orange, and then the cash outflows shows 13.6 that we've already spent and that we anticipate spending another 31.6 in the orange. And that concludes my report. Does anybody have questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Okay, looks like we've got one resolution, so I'm going to turn it back over to Joe.
Yes, we have resolution number 4, which would make our monthly payments to the various contractors for the preceding month.
So moved. Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Any other business to come before the board? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.